sharing the business.
Yeah. First, we're gonna recognize the team for what they've done so far, because you guys are cranking. I wanted to put the people with 1 to 2 customers also, but there was a lot, so I wasn't able to. So congratulations to all of you who have customers already this month, and a lot of customers for these two. Christine, I think she's ready to go QSC, right, Sandy?
Today is the day. That's why I know the exact date. Otherwise, I would not. She is 2 orders away from closing. Woohoo!
Oh my goodness. Wait, it's gonna
Yay!
Okay. All right, we're gonna see it again.
And I actually have those 2 orders, but they didn't submit. We didn't push the submit button.
Way to go, girlfriend. I am waiting to hear.
And
Okay.
Christine has 2 new team members. No,
Okay.
it's a slideshow.
I wish I could.
I've been a busy girl.
All right, 3 to 4 customers. Yay. 5 to 6 customers. That one went fast. Oh, 9
is going to be SSC before we know it.
And those who added new team. Christine has 2, Ivan has 3, and we will go ahead and do everybody else. It went too fast. All right, so I'm trying to.
Was that an autoplay or a loop or something?
On a loop. Loop-a-doo-doop.
Which Ivan is that? Is
Ivan
that
Salerno? Is that
Ivan Solano? That's my Ivan. Oh my gosh.
Sure. Figure out who these people are, huh?
Ivan, what happened?
Okay, we're gonna go
Not
back.
into.
See. All right, it's not gonna be a slideshow this time. Here we go. All right, here is those people who've added new team this month. Stacey Turner, Alicia McDonald, Sonia Dennis, Gwen O'Rourke, Shakira Moore, Diane Lane, Nicole Valencia, Tawana Delera, Allie Gold, Linda Harden, Bella Davis, Vanessa Nutt, Tina Crowder, Calvin Brown, Lonnie Markman, Sheila Cave, Christine Olzacross, Ivan Solano. Christine has 2, Ivan 3.
Wow.
Woohoo! Very nice.
Woohoo.
And then, there's sometimes where we have reinstatement people. They don't show up for us new on the virtual office. So if you're missing one here, that could be why. So anyway, I just thought you guys are already cranking, and I wanted to share that. So congratulations. Took 13 minutes of our time because I made that slideshow today.
It was
I
glorious.
apologize, and I'll never do it again.
That was the greatest.
Don't apologize.
No, we'll do it again. We loved it. We loved it.
Oh, good. Now you know to contact Ivan, and that Christine's making this month. Woo, woo. And I did have some people who are close to qualifying. Vanessa is one of them, Sandy. So close. And there's a couple more. Do you guys remember who? You guys know who?
Vanessa's going to make it.
Okay,
It'll be her first month. She's going for that join the club incentive.
Okay, Brittany Cunningham is close. Alicia Cordell, Yaides. Yaides is only 90 points away. And then it goes to like 300 after that. So those are the people that are super, super close. So congratulations.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to talk about introducing the business. Okay. Does anyone have some scenarios that they can share right away? Or maybe you're new, like Nicole Valencia. How are you?
Hi.
How did somebody introduce the business to you?
Well, Alicia was the one that introduced the business. She's my best friend. So I was like, go ahead, let's do it, And after that, I've been having trouble because I don't know how to tell people that is so good for them, so they don't buy it right away. So that's why I'm joining in today. So thank you.
Why you're here. Yay. Very good. Well, we're glad you're here. This is the place for you to be.
And Nicole is the one who got a new team member in Mexico.
Yeah.
How did you do that, Nicole?
Well, we actually team up with Alicia, and I know her from my brother. They used to be friends, and he introduced me to her, and she's a psychologist like me. So I talked to her about, the benefit when talking to family members, and when she does her therapy sessions. So that was my approach, that, you know, if you have good nutrition, you're gonna have a better behaved child, you know. So we started talking about it like that, and then she got interested on the product that I was giving my kids. And then I invited Alicia to talk to her more about them, you know. And that's pretty much how we started.
You got her on a three-way call.
Yes, yes, we did.
So you told, okay, so I told Doug as I left for racquetball this morning that it really comes down to what you did. Okay. You told her why it was good for her. Why, and I think you probably told her why you're doing it. I don't know. I didn't hear that part.
Sorry, my kids are next to me.
It's okay. How old are they?
Hold on, give me a minute. I want to mute myself from it.
So I think it's important for us to share why we're doing the Juice Plus business and why we think it's important for them. So it sounds like that's what she did with the psychologist from Mexico. She told her why it would be a good fit for her. So always kind of lean back on the why. Okay, so who has introduced the business lately? Hi, Gwen, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, Gwen.
Oh my goodness, what a special guest. Awesome.
Good to be here.
All right. Did we have any other questions for Nicole? Sorry, Nicole. Looks like you're ready.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted. We're glad you're here.
Thank you, and I'm sorry. It's because it's hard to make it happen, but I just wanted to, you know, sign in and let you guys know that I'm very excited because with my friend in Mexico, we are really conquering a new country, right? In this business. So pretty much my concern is how to approach more friends, because I tell them, you know, this is good for you. And I've been doing it with my kids. I've been giving them the gummies. You actually get, you know, an order for free when you buy yours for the kids for the Healthy Starts program. But that's it, you know, they say, yeah, let me check the website, and that's it. No more after that. So my concern is how to keep on getting more people engaged into the business.
Okay, the business or the product? Because you talked about the product. And
Yes.
the business. Both.
Both?
Probably both.
Both, yes. So then if they like the product and they want to distribute, that's when I have, I guess, that's when I don't know what else to do.
Time for a role play.
Okay.
So I'm trying to share with Sharon, and so I've done what you've done. I've sent her a link to the website. Okay, so let me just clarify. So you talk to them, you talk about Juice Plus, then you say, hey, can I send you some info? They say, okay, right? And you
Yes.
what do you send? Do you send a video or the website?
I send the website.
Like you send a link to,
So the
oh, go ahead. So do you send
Role
them?
play with Stacy.
Yeah. Do you send them to the ordering website or more info website?
I guess my website, the one with
Where they can order?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you remember what we let's see. I'm gonna try to use the Freedom Revolution. Let me mute her over here. Okay. Ooh. There we go. Can you hear me? Thumbs up? Yeah? Okay. All right. This is not where I'm going. I'm going here. All right. So remember this is the freedomrevolution.com. Password is revolution. We should all know this website. So if we go to getting started, United States, remember like the thing we're supposed to do, where is it? There it is, running slow today. All right, so what we want to do is get things set up, but you're going to share with people what you're doing. But then what we're always going to do is we're going to share our story, but then we send a resource or to an event or something. So either you invite to an event or you want to educate them a little bit more. So you're going to send them a video or something like that. So when we go to, gosh, I feel
Show
like
where the videos are. I know sharing it should be maybe under getting started sharing. That's
I feel like things have moved or something.
there's social media too. I think it's
Under what?
Under getting started
Uh-huh.
and then sharing.
No, see, they don't have
Are you
anything
under
there
getting
right
started
now.
already?
Yeah,
Or maybe training.
training.
Sharing with others. Second one.
Huh? Feels different. Maybe I haven't been here enough lately.
Is this where you already were?
No,
Okay.
but where's all the videos
Well,
now?
the videos are on the front page, but ways to share Juice Plus. Here you go.
Send a video. All right. So really sorry about that. But you need to have videos that you love and that you can send to them. And that'll make it really, really easy for you. What Sharon and I do, let me show you this. We have this verbiage. And I'm sorry, who were we talking to again? This is
Nicole Valencia.
oh yeah, Nicole. So Nicole, do you have like the text verbiage that we recommend?
No, I should check on that. No.
Where's
So
the-
our text verbiage is, I recommend the trio blend of fruits, veggies, berries, and also the phenomenal shake. Here are 2 videos, you know.
Okay.
And so that way we send them the exact videos. When you send people to the website, they might not really know where exactly to go to watch a video. And
Right.
you're just dependent,
So when you're
you're thinking that they're going to watch what would be educational, but they might not. So
I'm
it's
gonna put
better
this in
to
the
send a
chat.
video.
So the thing is, when you send the video too, so that's in the chat. If you guys want to copy that and save it somewhere, those are just, these are what this is my note called "What to Say Young." This is for younger people. For the not younger people, I will send Jan Roberto Shake and Bridging the Gap, but then the same Omega video. So this continues your conversation and educates them a little bit more. And then you ask them if they have any questions. Now, of course, you're going to follow up with them, send them the video, and you're going to say, okay, did you watch the video? And they're going to say, no, I didn't get a chance to do that. So that always kind of stinks. You're gonna do that.
She's laughing.
You know, that's just the way it is. You know? It happens to all of us. So then you're gonna follow up again, then again, then again. You see Stacy Turner is on here. She's an NMD. She makes a full-time income, and Sharon had to call her 6 times before they connected. All right, so you don't give up. And then they're gonna watch the video, and then you're gonna find out if they have any questions. And if they say no, then you say, okay, great. Are you ready to get started on Juice Plus? And if they say yes, you can either take their order or then you send them to the link. Do we have the carts? Is the Michelle or anybody, do you guys know if the pre-made cart thing is working yet or no?
Not yet. Not until we get the new
Well,
virtual
that
office.
stinks.
So November, we're supposed to get the new websites. It's gonna be phenomenal. Okay, so I think though we can learn from Nicole that she introduced the business to her friend in Mexico. She thought it would be a good fit for her, and she got Alicia on the line. Okay, that's really one of the keys, is to get your upline sponsor or leader on the line. You know, she's able to say, oh my gosh, you should do this with me, but then she needs that third-party validation from that other person. So, I mean, that's the easy way to do it, right, Nicole? And then, did somebody get on the line with you when Alicia introduced it to you? She said yes. Who?
Yes. I talked to Michelle and we talked to Nicole Fiol too.
Very good. So, you know, it works. You
Yes.
have to be the excited friend or coworker or whatever, and just introduce it. And then you get that other person on there and have a conversation, you know, just seeing whether it's a good fit. Well, let's talk about it. This sounds great. Oh, you're perfect for the community. You know, that's usually what the third party person is able to do and say, yeah, you're really, you found your place, basically, and make that person feel comfortable. Okay, so let's hear some more scenarios. Stacy, are you with us? I'm telling you guys have your camera.
I'm here.
All right, so I know you're always introducing business. So let's hear about your latest scenario so that it's just one. She's really cranking out a few by the end of the month.
What? She is a customer. She sold us our house when we first moved here in this area. And she was one of my first customers when we moved here. And she's been faithfully taking Juice Plus for a couple of years. We've talked about doing some salad jar parties. She's a real estate agent. She just recently retired. And she had asked me to send some samples to her daughter. And so I brought up the conversation again. This was multiple times of saying, hey, if you're already talking to other people about it and your whole family is taking it, her and her husband, and she was wanting to get her daughter on the study because she's in college, then you should get some money back on your orders. And there's a lot of people that you know that I don't know yet that we could help together, and who could we connect with? So that was really why she signed up. She kind of shared with me she wasn't really interested in the business side of it, which we know that's pretty much what everyone says, right? So then it's just a matter of how can I help her think through who she could share this with. So she has experience. She got to Partner Plus that first hour because we put her orders in, her daughter's, her husband's orders, and she had some that were reshipping. So that's a thing to think about too, is you have customers whose orders are coming up to ship this month. If they become a partner, we'll just use November. So let's say they have their order and their husband's trio order, and they've been on Juice Plus for a while. If you can start the conversation with them, if they have one other person order with them, they're at Partner Plus. So their reorders count now, which is not something that used to be. So as of January, now we can use their reorders. So I'm finding I can get my solid customers that are loving their Juice Plus, or they can think of one other person to share it with, and then we can help them get started. And then from there, you just never know where that's going to go. It may be a while still before they really catch the vision, but then at least they're in our circle as representatives. They get to see our community. They're on our Facebook page. You can invite them to representative events that you have, or things that are online that would now pertain to them as a partner, and then keep that conversation going of, who can we share with together? So it's a process, and you just never know who's going to take off. She has all the potential of a ton of people here. If she decided, you know what, I'm retired from real estate, I'm kind of bored, I would like, I like Juice Plus and I like hanging out with Stacy, so maybe I should do this. I don't know, that could happen a year from now. She just retired. I have no idea, but at least she's in our circle now. Her belief is strong in Juice Plus. Now she's also getting money back. It's kind of two different things there that will keep her on the product and keep her in the circle. So that's my latest one. And that happens, little conversations along the way. Not everyone signs up right away. That's been 3 years.
Right, that's true. Okay, so let's talk about who we might want to introduce the business to. And you guys probably have somebody in mind that you'd love to have on your team. Doug's going to show the potential team member profile. So Gwen says, I have a newly active teammate. She's been silent for 3 years until now. Okay. Sometimes it takes time.
Yeah. She had to be retired. Now she's ready.
Oh, and Gwen says, love the idea of bringing into my circle. That's great. And Michelle says, a lot of times it takes a number of exposures.
So I think it's cool. This is a cool sheet. This is in the building your team section of getting started, not getting started, but
Training?
training. Yeah. So to think about things like this, number one, think of a customer. What results have they experienced? That brings up the question of, do you know the results your customers are having? Number one, are we keeping in touch with them? Number two, another thing we want to do on a lunch and learn is talk
Show the
about the
customer survey.
experience survey. I mean, I don't even know where that is anymore. Do you?
Play under customer care.
Same
We can
one?
look after this.
Yeah, let's go to that next.
Yeah.
All right, so what experience are they having? Are they already referring friends and family? There's certain people that I know you guys, if I got them, you got them. They're like, oh, yeah, so-and-so, and oh, yeah, so-and-so. And then, well, if those people are interested, why wouldn't they get some of the retail sales profit? Why not? And they're sharing it. And what exposures have they had? So are we inviting our customers? I'm really bad about that. Is it realizing that when we have events, you automatically should be inviting customers. That's considered adding value to their life. All right, and what about characteristics? I just saw, what is that guy's name? The virtual upline, Bob Heilig. He just did an episode about recruiting people and then who we're recruiting to our team. So it's kind of a touchy subject, but he was saying, like, are you recruiting people on your team that are basically just glorified customers and they don't want to do anything and they had no interest in it, but you talked them into it, things like that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we do that sometimes. And then he started going over things that we are looking for. And this is cool because we have these here. The characteristics, like, who do you know that's entrepreneurial, that's health conscious, that's a people person, like high energy, a self-starter, teachable, credible. Sharon likes to say she always loves to find out like what rank they were in their class and stuff. She loves valedictorians and she has a theory.
Yeah,
You haven't talked to
top 10's really good.
Top 10% of their class might be a success principal. I don't know.
That's not a good measure.
No.
Trust me.
She likes it because she was. What number were you, honey?
May I share something on that regard, that what you said?
Yeah.
Doug, I forgot what it was that you said, but I thought it was really important. Oh, that you were reading the fact that sometimes we feel like we're talking them into it and they just join up and they really are not interested in building a business. And I'm interested because this is what happened with Nanette, with one of her partners who fast-tracked to sales coordinator, to senior, to QSC. And when she fast-tracked, she did it by telling Nanette from the beginning, I am not interested in a business. I already have a business. I'm not interested in sharing Juice Plus. And she started sharing anyway, just casually. And before you knew it, she was, she was at Partner Plus, and then they said, now I know you said you weren't interested in the business, but this is what you've done so far. And she said, oh, really? And then she fast-tracked to QSC. And she still is not interested in building the business. So she says, and she doesn't, she's not plugged in necessarily, but people respect her, people listen to her, and she is sharing. So people share in their own time and in their own way. And sometimes they just get promoted without even realizing it.
Yeah, and the word business scares people a little bit. But I think that Nanette and I talked to her and she was okay with her husband learning the business. So I think we have to still get him on the line. But, sometimes you got to let them do what they can do on their own. Like with Stacy, she always talks about how she thought she could just make a exhibit of her Juice Plus stuff while the ladies played bunco, and that would work. But once she figured out that wasn't working so well, then she came to her upline leader and said, what's the deal?
Wait, Stacy Turner?
Sponsor. Yeah.
Oh, can we hear this story? I
probably talked about it before.
Okay.
Stace?
I don't know this one.
Yeah, I just thought, I was hosting the event at my house too. One was a bunco event and one was a military wives event. And so I was like, it's my house. I'll present if I want to. So I set up this little Juice Plus shrine. And then before we started the bunco game, I told everyone, so I just wanted you to know I've been started selling. I don't even know what I said. Something like I've started selling Juice Plus. Our family's taking it. We really like it. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I don't know what I was expecting. Like if I really thought everyone was just gonna rush me with their credit cards, but there was no response. Like it was crickets. And so I thought, okay, that didn't work so well. So on the Officers Wives Club meeting, I was with more enthusiasm and like really excited when I shared with them, and the same response. It was like nothing. And so I realized that's not really working. And I think of it now, it's kind of like, what if you were at dinner with some of your friends and you're at this restaurant, have a couple of drinks, you've got some appetizers, you're talking, you're laughing, and this guy walks up with like a tray of jewelry, and this happens in New Mexico. Like it's weird. And he waits up to your table with this tray of jewelry and says, "Would you like to buy some jewelry?" And you're like, "No, I'm not here to buy jewelry. I'm here with my friend, and I'm just hanging out." And like, it's just weird. Like you interrupted the night by trying to sell me something. That's, I think, exactly how those ladies felt that night. It was unsolicited, let me sell something. And that's not what in my mind, like I wanted them to know about Juice Plus, but I realized it was more one-on-one conversations with them, giving them a piece of education if they were interested, and then inviting to the event with Sharon. So for a couple of weeks, I was sharing with a lot of people, nothing back. Like we had 2 cassette tapes, and I just passed it around and talked to people. They were interested, but like nobody would order. Nobody was saying, yeah, I want to get started with that, outside of like my parents and my sister. So it was just interesting. So I remember going to Sharon and saying, okay, if I'm going to do this, like what I'm doing isn't working. I'm not helping anyone if they're not actually getting on Juice Plus. I'm just like a resounding gong that's just making noise. Like that's pointless. So I want to be effective if I'm going to put time into this, and I want to really help them. How do we help them actually get started? And she said, okay, let's do some events. And so that's when we started. So I had a lot of conversations I had with people, and they had listened to the information. I just didn't know how to bring it to the point of helping them feel comfortable making that purchase decision. Sharon did. She had been doing that a couple of years. I didn't have that skill set yet. So once I brought those conversations in to a third party person who would back up what I said, back up what the audio cassette tape we said, the doctor on that, and we watched a video in the presentation that she did, that's when I got orders. So we had 60 days at that point too. There was no bonus money. We always like to toss that in there for you guys that got bonus money, but we still had 60 days. So I wasted a good 30 days of it. I would, at least 30 days just trying to do it on my own. I did gather those conversations. I was having conversations, but that last month of our 60 days, Sharon and I did like 1 or 2 events a week to get those orders to come in. And we just kept working person by person. And that's how I got to what we now call QSC. So, it was doing it wrong at the beginning, having to come to my own realization of that doesn't work, and then actually following the system that does work. And that's the great thing, guys. This is a franchise. There's a system. You don't have to try to figure out what works. If what you're doing isn't working, just a few tweaks will make a difference. And if you talk with your sponsor, they're going to be able to show you what it is, just a few little tweaks that, okay, in your conversation, or like Doug was able to identify, instead of sending to the website, send to the video. But if you just stop, I could have very easily said, you know what? My friends just aren't interested. They think it's too expensive. I don't have a degree in nutrition, so they don't believe me. This area isn't a place that likes to be healthy. Military friends don't like vegetables. Like, I could have come up with all kinds of things, but I knew if Sharon was getting team members and customers, then why couldn't I? If Julie was getting team members and customers, then why couldn't I? If Abby was, if other people were, then I could too. I just had to learn how to do it right. And I was willing to say, I was wrong. What I did didn't work. Okay, what can I do instead? And I didn't just give up. And I see a lot of times new team members, as soon as they come up against any sort of objection, they're like, oh, see, just not for me. This area doesn't, people won't listen. They don't have the money. It's too expensive. And they buy into all of that. But if that was the case, this wouldn't be the #1 selling encapsulated fruit and vegetable product in the world, right? So it's usually us, it's not the system, it's that we're not.
And sometimes it is trial and error or coming back. Yes.
The best.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I
You rock.
heard.
I'm sorry. I can't type it in, so I have to yell it out.
Go ahead.
Stacy, you rock. That's all.
Yeah, and let me give you, I know there's probably a lot of different takeaways from what she just said, but really what she addressed something that's very frustrating for me, because our job is to help you guys succeed. Now, you guys are on the Lunch and Learn. Most of you guys are moving forward. Majority of you guys even have customer qualified businesses. But here's the deal. If you're doing this like Stacy was, and you're not getting customers and you're not getting team, I just don't understand. I mean, I don't know how else we can say it. Like, you must come to your upline and ask for help. In fact, leaders, everybody on here, except for maybe Nicole, maybe Christine, all of us, even you guys, but if you're really new, not yet, when you have new team members, you have to basically like walk with them. You got to hold their hand. You're basically getting the customers in the beginning, and you're going to teach them how to do it. And if you're not getting the results you want, you have to ask, because we want to help you.
I love that.
That was so good, Stacy. I might finally edit down some. Is this going to be on YouTube? Put it on YouTube. Yeah. I want to edit that down. That was excellent.
I'll gladly share my mistakes if it helps somebody else. See how Sharon was with me though? Like, I really was obstinate, guys. I was 24. I didn't know anything about anything, but I had a good heart. I had connections with a lot of people, even though we had just lived there. I had some only like a year and a half, but I had connections with these military wives and some neighbors. People from the past, I had connections, I had a good heart. And then I had to learn how to be teachable. And I learned that it just didn't work. It wasn't working. And so Sharon was patient with me through that process, but she would tell me, this is what we need to do. And then if I didn't do it, she kind of let me do my own. And then, she didn't say, told you it wouldn't work, you lousy. What's wrong with you? Like, she just was patient and walked me through that. And then once I figured it out, I saw it. Like, okay, we did that first presentation and like 4 people ordered. And I was like, ding, do it again. Ding, do it again. And I figured out how to get people there. And I did a trade show before. Remember that, Sharon? It was like less than 2 months in for Nancy. And it was the day you watched Colin, when you took that picture of him and Daniel in the car. I had never done a trade show before, but I was like, I'm getting to sales coordinator. I need to help this distributor get customers. So we went to her school and she set up a table. It was, I don't know, some sort of fair. And we just did it. We just figured it out. And I would go to the chiropractor office And twice a week, I would find a babysitter for Colin because it was about 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back. So I would get a babysitter for 2.5 hours. And then I would just set up a little table right in her office. She let me do it. I just asked. I didn't know enough. Like, I don't even know if I would do that now, but I just did it. And I stood there. And as people came in, I talked to them about what they do to support themselves nutritionally. And I helped her get to QSC and Nancy QSC. And then I think it was Melissa, my very first one. And that's how I got to sales coordinator. But I was willing to do things that were way outside my comfort zone because I saw that they worked. Those were things that we recommend to everyone. You have to be willing to do it, even though you're scared. And I didn't know anything compared to what I know now, right? But I knew more than I was talking to somebody who knew nothing. If they know nothing and you know something, you know 100% more than they do about it. Even if it's one more thing, it's still, you do know enough that you can have a conversation. And then I would just get back with Sharon for questions I didn't know. But doing hard things even before you feel prepared, that's how you learn. You can't collect all the information and then do those hard things. You'll miss that. You really have to be willing to do it first and learn as you go and adjust. If it wasn't working, then what would work instead?
And let me ask you guys, if you guys went to like a chiropractor or to the gym or anywhere, go into like Whole Foods, and there was a table set up and there was a lady behind the table giving you like free samples and then just talking to you. I do that all the time. I go to Whole Foods, I go to BJ's or Costco, and you try samples, and you talk to them about their product. It's no big deal. Some of us are like thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. Nobody's thinking anything about it. We think about it, you know what I mean? And then the same thing, like, is it a big deal if your friend says, oh my gosh, I love this new toothpaste, or I saw this movie. You should go see this movie. We're not like, my friend is so weird. They said go to the movies, you know? We just got to get over ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Training, sharing.
Go to customer care. Yeah, training, customer care. We're going to look at the customer experience survey. I think we've gotten a little away from talking about it, acknowledging that it exists. Not the plus one.
That's so funny because we were just Brittany and I were just talking about that about an hour ago. You know, she was wondering, because you get to a point where you wonder, okay, I've talked to people, a lot of people are not responding, and where am I going to get partners from? And then we decided, well, you know what? We still have a survey that we can give to our customers and just ask them some questions. And if they're getting good results, and sometimes they don't even know they're getting good results. And that's what this survey is so great about. And then it brings it to their attention, and we ask them if they're sharing with other people, with anybody else, and invite them to take a look at the business. Well, not the business, but invite them to join us in sharing healthy living and inspiring healthy living.
Right. So the key is that once you, and we do this like at 90 days, but you can do this anytime with your customers. You can say, hey, I just want to do a quick survey with you. It should just take less than 5 minutes. And it's to look at, maybe you've had some subtle effects that you don't even know. And so you ask them these questions, and maybe you could even add your own if you want, you know. And so you go down the list, you know, have you found yourself drinking more water? Have you found yourself eating more fruits and vegetables? You take your time and you add like a little sentence if you want. Well, my kids, you know, blah, blah, blah. Have you found, I don't know if the better bowel movements is on there, but you could always add that. That's one of the first things people notice. But anyway, you go through the survey and people sometimes are like, oh, you think that my hair being thicker and shiny is related to Juice Plus? Oh, my hairstylist did say something about that. You know, like you're just kind of bringing an awareness to some of the subtle things that could be happening with them with Juice Plus. And so by the time you get to the end, then you say, you know, it sounds like you've had a really great experience so far. Have you shared this with anyone else? You know, have you told anyone else about Juice Plus? And then you're just silent and you listen. And so, oh yeah, I told my mom and, you know, this lady I work with, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, oh, well, you actually are doing what we do. We share just a little bit, but then we follow up with some education. So I'd love to give you some resources to share with those other people. And then you could also introduce the business, which is what Nalani said. And you don't have to call it a business though, because that scares people. You can just introduce the concept of sharing with other people. You can go back to your story. You can say, well, you know, 20 years ago, when I first learned about Juice Plus, I was a high school guidance counselor and I was so excited with what I was learning. I was getting great results. And then I could go right into my business story. And we had that plot that we talked about the other day, pain. I think the second one is love. And then the third is opportunity, and then triumph. So I was actually thinking about this on my way home from racquetball this morning. So I could say, you know, I used to work at Stoneman Douglas High School, you know, and I loved it. You know, I loved working with people. I loved being with the kids. I loved helping people. The problem was, though, I had 2 baby boys and I needed to be home. And I saw there was an opportunity where I could be home with my kids and create a significant income. And so I love anytime I can have my cake and eat it too. And that's really what I thought, you know. And so I decided I was really going to pursue this and help other people. And now my mission is to help other mommies be able to stay home with their kids too and contribute a significant income, because I've been able to. And it's really been rewarding, blah, 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 to do that. So anyway, you can kind of just go right into your story from that customer survey, you know, and it might not work, you know, as far as them latching on, but it's one more exposure. As Michelle said in the chat, it takes a number of exposures sometimes for people to really think about, hey, maybe I could do this. Sometimes it's belief in themselves. They don't really think they could do it, you know, or they think that we're slimy salespeople, but they need to be in the community so they see that we're not, you know. There's different reasons. And so sometimes you just have to say, oh, well, you know, all I did was share some audios with people and follow up and see whether they wanted it. It was either they did or they didn't, you know. You could say something like that too.
Well, I was wondering if for the last 5 to 8 minutes, we could talk about, you know, like if we've done the profile, like we've written down some people that we might want on our team, like how do we get to that point where we're inviting them to our team?
Right.
So maybe some of the people that have experience in that, you think of somebody, it's like, people. Okay, I really want so-and-so on my team. They'd be perfect. So how do we do that? How's it gone? Let's give some vision for some of the newer people.
Doug, can I say something for just a quick minute?
We want you to always be able to say something.
Okay, I'm going to show you something that I just found. It's on the same page that you were looking on to help Nicole, but it says here, it says additional, let's see, what does it say? Additional resources for team building. Yeah. And it has little breakouts on 3-way connection, business invitation verbiage, what do I say, and preferred genealogy. And it talks about how to use the preferred customer genealogy. So I just wanted to let you know that was at the very bottom of the page where you were doing the profile.
That is awesome. I love the what to say stuff. I love it.
The what to say area is really, really good. And you can even print that. And you could scratch out things that don't sound like you know?
Okay, so I know when I was new, Sharon had guided me to list out the reasons why I thought of that person and why I think they would make a great buddy in the business. And so that would be what I would do a lot. I would say, you know, I know that you're someone who's always into health, or I know you have little ones and you probably know other people that are wanting a way to get more nutrition in their kids' diets, like whatever it was, or the fact that they were a teacher and so they're constantly educating, and this is like a business where we educate and help people to understand the value of nutrition. So just thinking of what that connection is and why you thought of them. because then when you really personalize it in that way, it makes them feel really special and probably makes them more open to saying, okay, let me check out this business.
That's why I love Lunch and Learns, because that's the oldest line in the book, but I needed to hear it again. I thought of you because, and then you just go into it. And, you know, and because people are signing up, Nicole, people are going to sign up on your team because they want to join Nicole.
Yeah.
They're not going to join Juice Plus. They're going to join Nicole. They're going to join Michelle. Don't let that scare you. You don't have to be this dynamic. You don't need to be Tony Robbins to get people to follow you. But if you show interest in caring, like people care a lot more about how you, what is it about how you feel than what you say? Forget it.
There's sayings. But
The
there's
cake.
I lost it.
Go ahead, Michelle.
More about how
People
you
don't
make them
know,
feel.
care
Yeah, how you
what
make
you
them
know
feel
until
is
they
about
How
know
you make
that
them
you
feel.
care. People
Mhm.
don't care what you know until they know that you care.
There you
That's
go.
the other one. There's two. So that's why when he said that, I'm like, yeah.
And people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
show you care and make them feel good. There's a poster that says, make somebody feel special today, you know?
Yeah.
You wanna make them feel special.
But you know what? I think it's also important to remember not to take it personally.
Uh-oh.
Not to take it personally.
We lost you.
Okay, so
Right.
we'll come back
I
to,
also wanted to share that it's important to know that it takes, just want to reiterate what Michelle said about a lot of exposures, you know, because there was some person, okay, too bad.
sorry, you keep, we heard most of it,
Yeah.
that it takes a number of exposures.
There you go. Heather had a great thing she typed in there. Her biggest takeaway is that you can't rush people. You have to inspire them and build the relationship regardless of their answer. Yeah. In the same way, you know, like Coach Rob,
Yeah.
he still knows. I mean, I'm dying to have him on the team. So
But we'd
far,
love for
he
him
has
to be comfortable.
he has
too.
a tower garden.
Yeah.
You know, so great. That's a
Mhm.
start.
He needs more exposures to Juice
And now
Plus.
Emma's on his basketball team. That'll help.
That's true. So there is, and I hesitate to mention this, there is a recruiting mastery from Eric Worre. So we don't consider ourselves recruiters, but sometimes we like to hear from people who are more toward the business side of network marketing, just in case we could pick up things here or there or be challenged and inspired. So Gwen, do you want to explain that really quickly? And anybody who wants to sign up for that, we could tell you how.
Sure, I'll try. It's Eric Worre, and he's the GoPro master, and it's free. So anytime you can do anything with Eric, you just do it for free and you try to learn off of him. I mean, we've got some of our up people. Jeff Roberti is one of Eric Worre's teammates or whatever. He works with Eric all the time. So I want to learn from some of the best. So they offered this free thing. It's a week-long recruiting challenge. I'm here to learn. So if you guys want to sign up, there's a link and there's a Facebook group, and it starts, I think, November 11th or something like that. It's November, it's a week. It's weird times throughout the day that you can get on for his stuff, but it'll all be in the Facebook group. So you can catch up later on if you're not there live. But there's 50,000 people in the group already or something. So I'm excited.
Great. And he's going, just so you know, don't get angry, but he's going to sell you stuff a lot.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
going to try to sell you. You just got to deal with it. We went to his conference and they were trying to get us to sign up to be coached by him for $5,000 a month or something, you know? And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to go to that level, but I want to go to his conferences, and there's so much good information. I would recommend it for everybody.
And then in December, he's got his normal that you would attend in person event is now going to be online, and they need more people to help in the Zoom rooms. So you can attend this thing for free if you sign up to be one of the helpers. And they need more people to help in the Zoom rooms, so you can attend this thing for.
I got okay.
So I signed up to do that too, because why not? I can go to the GoPro event for free at home for 3 days and not have to pay. And I just have to like help people learn how to sign on to Zoom and stuff. They're sending out videos this week to explain it more, but that's how I learned all about all this stuff.
All right.
Great. So just look up Eric Worre, GoPro.
GoPro Crew and GoPro Challenge.
Yeah. So Gwen says, when you write your potential partners down on a list, it's like putting it out there. I found a list from 2006 and every one of my friends and family became partners. I couldn't believe it. So that is another good thing, to visualize those people who you want on your team and make it happen. Subconsciously or consciously.
As we close, I want to make sure you guys know who Gwendolyn is on here, because she was in our action game, and she's one of the people that's always on the morning blitz, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we have like a special little group that's always on there together. And she just is, I don't know, and she's special. She inspires me. Yes. She encourages me. She's close to being mentor status, I think, and she didn't even know it. But that's what Eric Worre says. Your mentors don't even know they're your mentors, but she brings so much light, and she is just awesome. So I'm very excited that she's on Lunch and Learn.
Yeah.
And Gwen, if you have anything to share, it's always gold.
Always. So maybe we could have you share your story next time.
Yes, we would love to hear that, because I didn't know she has a list from 2006. So I mean, like 14 years ago. This is new. I didn't know you've been around for that long in this.
I've been around since 2001.
Wow. I was 1999. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
so Gwen has a lot to share. So let us know when you want to come on and we could feature you.
And for anybody, I can't help but brag, but anybody that would happen to be a fan of the Walking Dead TV show,
I knew that was coming.
Her son is King Ezekiel. How about that? Anybody know who King Ezekiel is in the show? There you go.
Sorry.
All right, see, Nicole's another fangirl right there. So King Ezekiel, and you can see, as you get to know her, you'll see it in the face too. They look very similar. Anyway.
I think Nicole's glad she came today.
Yeah, Nanette said ever since she knew about Gwen, now that because she's a fan of the show, and now every time she sees Ezekiel, she can see Gwen.
Awesome.
And Gwen has a lot more. That's just, I mean, in addition to raising amazing kids, she's got stories. Not we don't have the time to hear them all right now, but you'll hear them over time. Mm-hmm. She's done some amazing things.
Great. So close a business.
Close a business.
You know, think Halloween, close a business, the 31st. And Vernon's birthday, right? Happy birthday to Michelle's husband on the 31st. And let's close it up strong and make sure those people who are close to qualifying get qualified this month. And then we keep pursuing those people for November, December, so they can make extra income. And don't forget about the Add More Good campaign, you know, extra shake. All right, guys, have an awesome day.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Thank you all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Great day.
Bye.
See you,
Thank
Nicole.
Thank you.
Go
Thank you very
Mexico.
much.
Viva Mexico!
Yay, órale.
Ándale.
Hey!
Ándale.